I called our president Fatty Shack. And Blob the Builder, and Liger Woods, and the Hungry Hungry Hypocrite, Mar-a-Lardo, Nelson Tandela. Somehow we got a Peabody out of that.
Oh, Jim! Fatty Shack, Liger Woods! No wonder you're winning awards where Hollywood pees on your body. Do not be fooled by the false bravado. Do not be fooled by the brave face that Jim Kimmel is presenting to the public, because behind that brave face is a defeated man. Behind that brave face and political commentary disguised as bad jokes is a man who is tired of fighting. And that's not my opinion. That narrative is coming directly from those who were unfortunate enough to be close to Jim Kimmel. I'm sure you guys have heard of the theory death by 1,000 cuts. When I quit my job in June of 2021, which, by the way, this month is my 5th year of being full-time here on YouTube. Longevity on this platform is incredibly difficult to sustain. Words cannot describe how much me and my family appreciate you guys and your support. But when I quit my job in June of 2021, that was not a decision that was made in one day, or 1 week, 1 month, even 1 year. That decision was the end result of years and years of misery. I actually had a viewer approach me today while I was getting coffee. He asked me what made me start doing YouTube, and I told him I woke up one day and realized that I hated every job I ever had. That realization was the end result of a series of seemingly minor events that accumulated over time. Like we've talked about before, business relationships are no different than your personal relationships. In the vast majority of cases, divorce is not caused by a singular event. Uncle KC, what about infidelity? What if you catch your wife banging the Pepperidge Farm guy when he was supposed to be delivering fresh cookies? Even in cases of infidelity, in most of those cases, something or a series of things happened throughout the marriage, whether it was neglect, emotional needs not being met. The infidelity is often the symptom to a larger problem. For me, the turning point for me at my old job was when my boss lost his temper a little bit because I took 3 consecutive weeks of vacation in December going into January. After that, it was over. I had officially moved from being miserable at work to reaching the burnout stage. And once you reach burnout, whether at work or in your marriage, once you reach burnout, it's over. There is no going back. There is no amount of money. There's no promises of promotion. Once you're burned out, it's time for you to move on. Yesterday, something called Vulture released an interview with Jim Kimmel. It was your typical interview with Jim where he is whining and complaining like a woman. He is displaying his uncontrollable symptoms of stage 4 OMB. Oh, it's been bad! But if you overlook the symptoms, if you work through the feminine emotion, it is abundantly clear that Jim Kimmel has reached the burnout stage with late night television, and it won't be very long before he either quits or gets fired. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. It's going into the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Sugar Mountain Trading. Glenn is one of my longtime viewers. He's been watching me here on the channel for years. Several months ago, he strained his shoulder while picking up his dog to take her outside. He thought the pain would go away, but weeks later, Glenn still dealing with shoulder pain. The over-the-counter meds were doing nothing for his pain. Like most of my daily viewers, Glenn had been hearing me talk about the efficiency of the CBD from Sugar Mountain Trading for a couple of years now. So, a few weeks ago, Glenn orders his first bottle of CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain. He applied the lotion to his shoulder. Several minutes later, pain gone. My uncle has been using the CBD from Sugar Mountain Trading since around Thanksgiving to alleviate his pain so he can go to sleep at night. He was using pain meds, but doesn't even take the pain medication anymore because he doesn't need it. The CBD effectively alleviates all of his pain. I have got countless stories from viewers, friends, family. They all tell me the same thing. They cannot believe this stuff actually works. There is a reason Sugar Mountain Trading has been with me here on the channel for almost 2 years now. My audience keeps buying their CBD because Sugar Mountain Trading is the real deal. All CBD products offered at Sugar Mountain Trading, 100% natural, 100% free of THC. This would make the perfect gift for Father's Day, and they are running a promo for Father's Day. So click the link in the description or the pinned comment below. Use the new promo code BTLDAD, BTLDAD. Help your dad alleviate his pain and receive 30% off your first purchase with Sugar Mountain Trading. Headline at People magazine. Jimmy Kimmel is talking about leaving his late night dump. You know, this is not the first time that Jim has threatened to quit. This has been an ongoing threat for the last few years. Uncle Casey, this is just a negotiating tactic. ABC only signed him to a 1-year deal that expires next May. Jim is increasing his value by threatening to leave. There's really no way for Jim to increase his value. In terms of drawing a profitable audience, Jim Kimmel is worthless. If his bestie, Stephen Colbert, was losing $40 million every year at CBS, Jim Kimmel is either matching those losses or potentially losing even more money. Well, that's not true. According to Jim Kimmel, those are made up numbers. CBS is lying. Stephen Colbert wasn't losing money. CBS just used that as an excuse to fire him. CBS didn't need financial losses as an excuse to fire Stevie. They could point to his ratings and the fact that he is a huge embarrassing failure. You see, when CBS was being run by doofus Democrats, losing $40 million every year with Stevie, that was no big deal because they could rely on him to preach the good word and spread the woke faith. But now that the Ellison family's in charge, they expect to make money. And Stephen Colbert is a proven money loser. During his interview with Vulture, Jim Kimmel discussed the emotional trauma of his bestie getting fired. I feel so defeated. I'm the only surviving failure in late night TV. With Stevie gone, I'm under immense pressure to increase my ratings, and I know I'm just not capable of doing that. Most of America hates me. According to Erin Irwin, a longtime producer on Jim's late night dump, her boss is tired. Jim Kimmel is exhausted. And it's not hard to understand why. Think about it. He has been hosting this late night dump on ABC for over 20 years. Jim Kimmel has never consistently finished in first place. He's watching some of his friends get fired. There used to be some British doofus who came on CBS after Stevie Colbert. He got fired a couple of years ago for losing millions of dollars. Travis Noah was fired from The Daily Show for being the face of failure. Uncle Casey, Trevor Noah didn't get fired, he quit. Yeah. Jim Kimmel was temporarily fired by ABC last fall for making incendiary remarks about the death of Charlie Kirk. He's constantly having to deal with the FCC. He's constantly being berated by the object of his obsession, Don Trump. There is a constant threat of Jim being taken off the air, declining ratings, declining popularity, declining influence, not being profitable. I would imagine that Jim Kimmel is exhausted. But there was something else that Jim Kimmel said in his interview with Vulture that caught my attention. They asked him what he would do next if he quit ABC. Obviously, most Americans hope that Jim Kimmel will disappear from the mainstream, never to be seen again. But when asked what he would do next, Jim Kimmel was kind of non-committal. But he said, "Freedom is what I want more than anything else. I want to go fishing. I want to stick my pole in another man's pond. Ooh, that sounds refreshing." Most people see a comment like that and assume Jim is talking about retirement. But people who are addicted to attention, oftentimes they are unwilling to remove themselves from the spotlight. For the last 10, 15 years, Howard Stern has been threatening to retire. Last fall, he faked being fired by SiriusXM just to generate the attention that he craved. Howard Stern will never retire. For starters, he loves what he does, and when you love something, you will never be ready to let it go or give it up. But Howard Stern also relishes the attention, even though in the year of our Lord 2026, no one is listening to Howie. I think one of the reasons that Jim Kimmel hasn't followed through on his threat to retire, besides the fact that ABC is vastly overpaying him $15 million a year, Jim likes the attention. He craves the adulation from his pretend friends in Hollywood. Jim doesn't want to walk away from the spotlight, but he wants the creative freedom to do whatever the hell he wants. I think that's what Jim Kimmel is talking about when he talks about freedom. No more corporate media constraints, no more abiding by FCC standards. Will he make $15 million a year independently? No. Eventually, Jim Kimmel might generate enough revenue to match his current salary at ABC, but he won't come anywhere close while starting out. However, once you reach the burnout stage, money is not a factor. No amount of money can eliminate your desire for creative freedom. I think Jim Kimmel is serious. By this time next year, the only survivor in late night television is going to be Jim Fallon. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.